What's up, y'all? I'm gonna show you our entire process of how we close a post-construction cleaning client, from doing the walkthrough, setting up the proposal, and then sending it out to the client to lock it in. So first, let's get to the walkthrough. All right, y'all, so this is the 3,700 square foot luxury new home build that we're doing. We close them for $3,245, including the rough cleaning and the final phase cleaning. So about 85 cents a square foot. And y'all, how I get to these numbers, I'm winging it half the time, to be honest. We take into account the size of the home, the condition, and the scope of work, and we kind of come up with it at that point. So it's typically 45 cents to 50 cents for that rough cleaning, and then we're also adding on window cleaning. Of course, it depends on the condition. If we have to scrape up a bunch of glue, paint on the ground, peel off anything like tape or whatever, like this place has a ton of glass around their staircase, so that's going to take a lot more time as well. We just try to estimate how long it's going to take and how many people, and put our profit on top, try to make it as simple as possible. But during this walkthrough, just looking at the place again, checking out the condition. Post-construction, I always recommend doing a walkthrough, because you could have one that's really not too bad, where the contractors did a good job protecting things, and one that is like completely trashed, and it can be, it's way worse than you can imagine. So that's all we're doing right now, just going through here, and taking photos and videos of all the details and what I should put in the proposal to make it look like we actually care and know what we're doing. Post-construction is becoming one of my favorite niches, man, because it's such a higher value than most other cleanings. We get in, we get out, we don't have to really deal with the client over time. But I'm really stoked about this. We're doing it July 5th, and this is going to be a new general contractor we're working with. The guy's building another home right next door and has other projects in the area. So looking forward to knocking this out. After this walkthrough right here, I go straight home and I try to make that proposal as soon as possible to send it over. The sooner the better. All right, so that was a little taste of the walkthrough. Now we're at the proposal, and I got a comment recently on YouTube, how do you bid? How do we quote or do a proposal? And all three of those words are interchangeable. I just call it a proposal, and all this is telling the client what we're going to do, how much we're charging, and some other details. So I have this, by the way, linked in the description. No opt-in form or any of that bullshit. You can just grab this in a Google Doc and then make sure to copy it so you can get it yourself. But this is exactly what I send to clients, and I tried to make it as simple as possible. Once you're going through like bigger commercial spaces, obviously the proposal is going to be a lot more detailed, but this is what we do. So I start with the scope of work. I have some acknowledgments, pricing, payment terms, availability, team, and then just some ending things there. So of course, company logo at the top to make it look professional. The scope of work, I just try to be as detailed as possible. A lot of the things, I'll probably repeat them in here. It'll be a little bit redundant, but I just want the client to know, at least make them feel like we're doing everything, which we are. So for post-construction cleaning, it's all about removal of the fine dust from the vertical and horizontal surfaces. See, you can see here, I wrote the same thing twice already, but because of this home, as you saw, it's like a luxury material. I put things in there like no harsh chemicals are going to be used on the floors, which goes a long way with these clients, with these general contractors, because it's a lot of money they're putting into these materials. So at least it shows that you're familiar and you have an idea of what you're doing. And again, just try to be as detailed as possible. So as we were going through that walkthrough, I'm seeing what needs to be done. We were talking to the other contractor that was there, and just letting them know exactly what we're going to do. Post-construction, you're always doing the walls, you're always doing inside and out, kitchen cabinets and all the cabinets throughout the house, especially if it's a new build like this. And of course, they're going to want the windows done because there's dust all over that. So window sills, the frames, the glass, we always charge this extra. It's a separate cost, and I just get my window subcontractor to do it because it saves us a ton of time. Otherwise, clean inside and out, the glass doors, the frames, the tracks. Be very, very specific as much as possible. The more the better, I think, because it just shows that during the walkthrough you were taking more notes and everything. So you get the point. Scope of work, acknowledgements is usually if there are specific things. Like we went to a Major League Baseball player's home recently for a post-construction cleaning. Didn't win it, but one of the things the contractor was mentioning is they had like charcoal on their ceiling. Like he was saying if we even touched it, it would all fall apart pretty much. So I put that in the acknowledgments for that proposal, that we are not touching the ceiling, the charcoal ceiling or anything like that, or to be very careful in that area. So that's all I put in the acknowledgments. Talk about our insurance policy, we guarantee our work, and at least for our business, we don't set a time limit. It's just make sure the scope of work is completed to its fullest extent and that they're satisfied. And this is also kind of how I think it elevates our service, so we can charge a bit higher because they're used to cleaning companies just doing a time limit or an hourly thing. So I'm going to speak specifically about post-construction because that's what we're doing. You typically will have multiple phases of cleaning, which this is kind of new for us because we've done restaurants and warehouses and other homes, and we can knock it out in one day. But as you do a post-construction, you'll realize that there's dust settling. So you knock it out, and the first day, dust is going to settle. It looks clean, but you still see it. And coming back a day later or 2 days later to do a final cleaning would actually be much more beneficial to the client. It's going to clean the place up more, and it gives us an opportunity to add on more profit, make more money out of it. So that's kind of how we split up this client here. A lot of post-construction cleaning phases would be a third phase too, like an initial one, which is more so construction debris, but they don't have any of that. It's just a rough cleaning, knocking out everything, windows, inside, everything. And then the final cleaning would be touch-ups after they make their final changes. Maybe they got to move outlets around and there's drywall dust and that sort of thing. So not so much going inside of everything again, but touching it all up. And then I do payment terms. This is up to you, how you run your business, but we do 50% deposit up front to help with costs and cash flow, and the remaining balance due after service. If this wasn't the first time we're working with them, I might say remaining balance due net 7 after service. That way they have a little bit of leeway, and it kind of shows that like we're willing to work with them with their cash flow as well. But otherwise, trying to get that money as soon as possible and move on with our day. So I just let them know like invoice will be provided. I use Stripe for that, and debit and credit card is accepted, or Zelle, check, ACH transfer. For jobs of this size, when this is about 3,245 total. For this size, I would prefer to get paid through Zelle or check or ACH transfer, just because of that payment processing fee. You're going to save yourself a couple $100s by going through one of these routes rather than Stripe. The benefit of Stripe and getting that deposit is that you can save their card on file. So if anything happens, well, you can charge that thing. So that's why I prefer Stripe, but for something this size, I would go for that. Availability, right? So you just want to tell them when you're available. What is the team going to be made up of? We say 5 or 6 people. We're going to bring all the supplies. This is all kind of, you could say, a given. Most people would expect you to bring all this stuff, but you just tell them anyways. You want to be detailed. Have a dedicated team of 1 to 2 people for the window cleaning. And then at the end here, I just thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to sign off with my company info. I want to link them back to my Google reviews. and provide references. So just trying to build trust at the end there and seal the deal. I'm not sure how many people actually go down here and are reading all that. I have a feeling most people just go like this, or clients, they'll just see the proposal and they'll scroll, okay, there's a price, boom, and move on. But it's good to have all this stuff. So this is what I do. And then I'm also sending a copy of our insurance. If I highly recommend it. Now, every time I send a proposal, no matter the size of the job, I just send our insurance as well, because I mean, we pay for it, so we might as well show the clients that we have it, and it just gives them more peace of mind for us. So this template, again, in the description, go ahead and grab that. And then now I'm going to show you how I send this to my client. I just text it through this Adapt CRM or email it to them. But because of the size of this job, I want to get it signed before we move forward. So in these Adapt CRM, you have a documents and contracts section where you can add a signature. And it's pretty sweet because if somebody leaves that signature, it's capturing their IP address and there's no way out of it, pretty much. So once you log in, you go to payments, documents and contracts up here, press new, upload existing PDF. So if you're using Google Docs, you can also create it within the system, but this is just how I like to do it. So I go upload. Okay, so now we're in the builder here. What you do is click this little plus, add element. And then come down here, you got the signature, you have different elements that you can add to this proposal. So I just put the signature right here at the bottom. And I also put the date. The reason being, guys, I recently had to go to court for small claims court for an Airbnb host that hasn't paid us about $1,400, and I think we're going to be fine, but it's better to have them sign something, sign a contract, and that's kind of what we didn't have with them. But I think it's going to be all good. This is just to protect you, and then you click recipients here at the top, and then you would just go through your CRM and pick the client that you need to send this off to. Click send. So that's the whole process. Walk through, proposal, send it. If it's over $1,500 for us or $1,000 for us, I'm trying to have them sign it to make sure that we get paid and nothing weird happens. But hopefully this gives you an idea of the process. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Later.